You are listening to Drag Dungeon. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Periscope. Subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, and Soundcloud.
Cause everything looks good on you. You better work it, girl, supermodel of the world. You better work it, girl, supermodel of the world. Work, supermodel, wet your lips, make love to the camera. Two to make a thing go right. It takes two to make it out of sight. Supermodel, work.
Welcome to Drag Dungeon with Jay and John. What's up, John?
What's up, Jay?
How you doing?
I'm spiraling out of control. How are you?
Oh, same. I love when we're on the same page.
Oh, me too. Syncing up.
Spiraling, rabbit hole, me, Alice in Wonderland.
Oh,
That's
total eat me,
That's
drink me.
Yeah, that's the costume I'm wearing anyway, so it's like perfect.
It's super cute. Post pics.
No pics didn't happen. So, how's your Pride Month? It's about to wrap up.
You know, it just came and went so quickly, and I barely had time to celebrate.
So I'm real irritated about something. Is everybody is talking to me like they expect me to go to like the parade and to the festival?
Well,
and
you
stuff.
have gone every year.
Okay, look here, Miss Honey. No, I mean, last year I was there for 30 minutes. Like it was like not like, oh, I hung out with my friends. And the year before, because I walked in the parade last year and the year before, but the year before
right.
was so hot. I was overheated and I sat in front of the fan for like an hour. I was over it. So it wasn't like some like amazing experiences that brought the house down, blah, blah, blah. So get off me if I don't want to go.
Get off
like,
my
people were
jock.
I literally had someone say, "What's wrong?" When I said I didn't want to go. It's like,
What
"Are you
happened
okay?"
to you?
Yeah, are you okay? I'm like, look, bitch. I've had a month that was people forward. I need a break. I don't want to socialize. Like Saturday Night of Pride, which is tonight, is usually my favorite night of the year to go out because there's so many people and I always have fun. But I just don't want. I'm over it. I've had too much people for this past month.
Well, let me just say, and I'm not even blowing smoke here, like, your level of fame rivals that of the headliners of Pride. So I can understand why people might miss seeing you there, because they're probably all sitting around waiting for it. When's this bitch coming?
Oh my God, if I didn't go, I'm not kidding. People will be like, why weren't you there? Why didn't I see you? I'm like, oh God, I just don't feel like sharing in the moment. You know, I just don't.
I'm celebrating Pride in my own private way. That's what like.
Right. I'm like, instead of Pride, I'm celebrating my shame. No, next year it'll be different. There's a lot of changes happening in life, and I'm like, I think by next year it's going to be a little more or something, and I'll be ready. I'll be ready then. I'm not into
You mean for you personally?
Not me personally.
Oh, I want to know more. See, now I'm intrigued. This is why your fans miss you.
I mean, there's nothing to report. It's just, you just like, I've been real busy with stuff, some life transitions. I'm not transitioning.
Oh, hashtag transitions.
No, I gotta go to Pride. No, just, life is evening out, and next year I'll be like, all ready to go. I'll be all like, let's get soaking wet, but just not right now.
Oh my God, well, sign me up. I guess I'm going then. I have to be there for that.
Mm-hmm. Next year, build up. So, what do you got? You got some hot topics for us?
Just a couple real quick. Okay, let's just say Drag Race first of all, because Tyra Sanchez apparently was raided by the FBI. I wonder why.
What? I didn't know she was raided by the FBI.
She posted the search warrant that they used to go in her house, because apparently World of Wonder, the production company for all Drag Race, reported her because she made a very thinly veiled threat to bomb or do something to the people who went to DragCon. So of course they did.
Of course they did, you stupid bitch. God damn it.
And she's just so full of shit. Like, she should be ashamed of herself. Like, you make a threat, word it however you want on Twitter. They shut her Twitter down, and of course somebody's going to come search your house. And I'm glad they did. They took it seriously. So hey, at least the FBI isn't homophobic or racist, because they check everybody out.
Right. I mean,
You can't do that shit. In the world, in the days of in the times of like Sandy Hook, and literally there's like a school shooting or a mass shooting every week in America. You can't do that shit. It's not cool. Make a statement in some other kind of way.
And she had to have known something was going to happen. That's why, and even she posting that on there, maybe she just like thinks no one's paying enough attention to her, so she's going to act the fool and make that kind of shit happen.
It's sad. Don't support this. Don't follow her or anything. It's embarrassing and sad. So that's all for that. But on the other side, Heather Locklear, who what shows was she in? Melrose Place and
yes, and oh God, what else was she in?
You guys know Heather Locklear. I mean, she's beautiful, blonde. She's like a legend, but
yeah,
she's got some mental problems, which I think a lot of us can relate to. And she was on a psychiatric hold because apparently she threatened to shoot herself, even though she doesn't own a gun. Luckily, her parents are still around, but she like threatened to kill her parents. She choked her mom out, her dad. They were calling 911 and stuff. I mean, she's really troubled. Oh, it says TJ Hooker. I never saw that show, but I like the name.
Well, and you could relate to that name.
Yeah.
I think anyone who... Okay, so maybe this is... I don't know what I'm saying here, but like you have this career and you're known as this like beautiful like bombshell, and you start getting older and you start getting less work, and then how are you going to pay your bills? I mean, maybe it's some like thing like spiral like that.
I think that probably contributes to it. I mean, of course, I think mental illness, you either got it or you don't, like, and all that other stuff just can kind of feed into it. Plus, you had alcohol or drugs, that just amplifies mental problems. And I think she may have, like, an alcohol issue, maybe allegedly. But I just kind of feel bad for her because she's very lovable. Like, I kind of feel for her. I like Heather Locklear.
Yeah, no, I'm good with her. She's fine. She's never...
But she never found her, like, the second part of her career, like, say, Julianne Moore.
Yeah.
Somebody who was super sexy, like a bombshell, and then she transitioned to do that movie, like, After Alice or whatever, that lady with the Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
She totally graduated to older roles without losing any of her sex appeal. And Heather Locklear still looks great, so I don't see... She's only 56. I don't see why she couldn't do that.
She's only 56?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, I think like 15 years ago, she did a Lifetime movie where she played a cougar going after a younger guy, and I think that was a mistake.
Yeah, you don't want to make yourself look older. That's like Cher playing Meryl Streep's mother, I guess mother, not grandmother, mother in the new Mamma Mia 2 coming out. It's like,
is that who she plays?
Yes.
Well, let's go on to that subject. What?
I know! But Meryl Streep's character, spoiler alert, I think is dead. And so...
Didn't she die?
Yeah, I think she's dead. And then Cher plays her mother, who comes into Cinderella. I call her Cinderella because she played Cinderella's life. No. Hold on. Not her. Oh my god, I'm getting confused. The girl who plays Cinderella plays the
Amanda Seyfried.
No, yeah, so that is Meryl Streep's character's daughter. But then that Cinderella girl plays a young Meryl Streep's character. This is like a lot of bullshit. I am not watching that. I'm confused, and I'm like...
I'll wait for the highlights reel.
I know, I just want to watch the Cher part. The rest...
Did you hear Fernando? It came out.
It did?
The Fernando, yeah, Cher's cover of Fernando came out. It sounds look, think of it in your head. It sounds exactly like that.
Is it on iTunes?
I don't know. I saw it on YouTube.
Huh. Well, I want to hear that. And how many remixes are we gonna get? Bring them on, bitch!
Bring on the remixes.
Bring it, remix. Yeah, I'm ready for that shit. Sign me up. Speaking of iTunes, Blair St. Clair just released. Well. You can pre-order her new album called Call My Life. It's like really kind of more of like an EP. I don't know how many songs on it, like 7 or something. Of course, I don't know if that's an EP. Anyway, you can pre-order and you get a song, and then the song she already has out, but then it's released next Friday after the finale.
I love Blair. I'm down for it. So can you hear the first single?
Yeah, you get 2 songs if you download it, if you already don't have the Now or Never song. It's real dancey, you know.
Are they good in your opinion?
Oh, yeah, I like them. I like the Now or Never song. This other one's kind of the same-ish. kind of lyric wise,
Yeah.
but I liked it.
I don't need like super deep intellectual lyrics for my dance music. I'm just asking because my days of pre-ordering are over. I'm telling you, I've been disappointed, burned way too many times with the pre-order.
And then if you forget and you like, oh, I hate this, and then you forget you pre-order it, then you get it and you're like, God damn it.
Yeah, that's like a very bait and switch. That's very commonplace now. They hit you with the 2 or 3 singles, and then the rest is all filler trash.
Well, that fucking Kylie Minogue Golden album, I
Oh.
mean, I was like so upset about that.
I know
So
you were. Can you get a refund on iTunes? Is that possible?
I need to return this download of Kylie Minogue's "Keep on Dancing" song. I need my $1.29 back.
And she had the nerve to come over to America and try to promote that.
Ugh. Did she perform it somewhere?
Like Jimmy Kimmel or somewhere.
What?
And you know what? I watched the whole episode and I turned it off right when Kylie came. That's bad. When I make the effort to change the channel, like, that's bad.
Kylie, you're kind of over for us. Unless you come back with some hot ass shit after this, which I have a feeling you're not.
I don't think so either.
So, we got some questions on Instagram from Shannon, our friend slash fan slash, what do you call those?
Lover.
We need to have a name. Lovers? Well, we have to have a name like Little Monsters or whatever Lady Gaga
Oh,
has.
Dungeon Dwellers?
Our dungeon dweller. Shannon, I love that. We're going with that.
Okay.
Just a couple of questions she wanted to know about, so let's kiki.
Okay.
So how long we been friends? We kind of talked about that. How long we been friends now? When
Ever
did Kaylee
since-
Anthony
Right,
die?
ever since Kaylee Anthony died. So, like, it's been 10 years. It's such a landmark. It's very easy to remember for us.
Oh my god. How old are we? Next.
Younger than you think.
Timeless. We're timeless. God damn it.
Yeah.
What else we have? What's our favorite movie? What's your favorite movie? Tell it.
Oh
Tell
my
me.
gosh.
I want to hear it.
I hate to say these because it's like shit you would hear on Drag Race, but I do love Death Becomes Her.
Yeah, I know what you're gonna say before you say it. But
I have it written down. You tell me while I'm looking it up.
sure. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Elvira, of course.
Elvira. Yes, Death Becomes Her. Hairspray, the original Hairspray, is one of my favorite movies. The John Waters Hairspray is so good. God, there's so many, because, like, movies, like, favorite-wise, like, there's some I'm, like, afraid to admit that I really like a lot, but I don't know if I say favorite.
Okay, I seriously have a list of this in my iTunes or my iPhone notes. You were ready for? I'm gonna rapid fire this.
Okay, do it.
This is in no specific order, just movies I actually love. August Osage County, Black Swan, Bride Wars, Don't Judge Me, Death Becomes Her, Chicago, the musical, Cloverfield, Ghost World, Factory Girl, High Tension, In Her Shoes, The Craft. Jackie's Back is probably one of the top 3. The Lifetime movie with Jennifer Lewis, Jackie's Back. I'm going to stop there because it's such a good movie.
I think I know that. Yeah. So when you said High Tension, I know that movie. That's a horror film, right?
Yes.
Yes.
From
I've seen it.
2003.
Yes, I've seen that. I did enjoy that movie.
And Ghost World. And I also like that movie where the girls are spelunking. What's that movie?
Oh, The Descent. That's
The
one of my favorite
Descent.
movies.
That's a good one.
Have you seen The Descent too?
I think I did see it, but I don't remember.
Yeah, The Descent is one of my favorites as well. So for me, then we got Elvira, Death Becomes Her, The Descent, Hairspray. God, there's like,
Oh, Drop Dead Gorgeous. Drop Dead with Kirstie Alley.
oh yeah, that's good.
Romy and Michelle, please.
Oh, Girls Will Be Girls is I love that movie.
That is a good campy movie.
It's super good.
Supporting the drag arts. There's a couple movies out I want to see. I want to see that movie Adrift where the bitches are lost in the ocean. I want to see
wait.
Hereditary.
I have that Adrift. No, is that a new movie, Adrift?
Yeah, it's like with Dakota Fanning or one of those other Fanning people.
I'm thinking of there's a horror film called, well, there was out. What is it? What's the one where they're out the story that's Open Water. There's Open Water, and then there's a sequel. I think it's called Adrift or something like that.
That's what I just said. How Adrift.
But that's a different movie. So I really like movies that are like sea, kind of like movies. The movie The Wreath is really good.
The Christmas Wreath?
No, the Aretha Franklin? No.
The Reefer?
It's about a boat. These people on a boat and it sinks. And they're like stalked by a shark. That kind of movie.
I love that kind of shit. Like suspense. Like, oh, I love that. A lot of people sleep on Cloverfield and War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise. Those movies scare the shit out of me.
Yeah, Cloverfield's good. I like the second Cloverfield movie, the 10 Cloverfield Lane. I liked that one.
Oh, I still haven't seen that.
With John Goodman. Yeah, it's pretty good. You know what movies I really like, and I really hate to admit this, but the Pitch Perfect movies. I really like the Pitch Perfect movies a lot.
Pause for judgment.
I know! I can't help it. I don't know why I like them. I really hate What's-Her-Face, who's the lead in that?
Oh, I know exactly who you're talking
Resting
about.
Bitch-Face. I can't stand her ass.
I hate her.
I think the songs are kind of fun. Yeah.
No, I have embarrassing stuff on my list too. I can understand. I can forgive that, but I can't stand her.
So, what really bad movie do you love? Like, I guess we know like Glitter. We like Glitter.
Oh, Glitter.
Yeah, Glitter is really good. What's another bad one that we like really love? Glitter kind of takes the cake, but I thought Showgirls, of course. I love Showgirls. Classic.
Oh yeah, of course. Loving for the Wrong Reasons.
Yes, it's so good. It hits all the check marks for me. Like whores, check. Strippers, check. Prince songs, check.
Edited for daytime TV, check.
Yeah, check. It's like all of it. Just check marks, all those for me. Love it.
Love it. I'm more of a TV person, to be honest. My attention span is more of like it caps at about an hour, so movies are not my thing. I love TV. So maybe we'll go over our favorites for TV next week. That'll be fun. We could go on and on forever about TV.
For sure. Okay, so I really like the question, what do you like best about Dolly Parton?
Oh my God, can you pick one thing?
I know. I was thinking about it. I'm like, Dolly can like do no wrong, basically. The only thing she's ever done that I was like, really, Dolly, was that patriotic album. I don't get it.
I know, but even that, I mean, the cover alone, it
cover's
rivals
amazing.
Christmas with Carney.
The cover is amazing.
I bought that in the store at Walmart back when there was a CD section. See, there's a hint to how old we are. I think my favorite thing about Dolly is she is a genius at marketing herself. Everything she does is so cohesive. It's like insane. Like her whole narrative and storyline, it all goes together. She has like 5 stories she tells that she just repurposes over and over. I mean, the Dollywood merchandising, it all goes together.
I mean, for real. I mean, she has a goddamn theme park with her name on it.
The bitch has a theme park.
No one has that except for Dolly. And the thing to me about Dolly is she never has ever apologized for anything that she has ever done. Like, she's like, yeah, I got big boobs. Fuck you. Yeah, I wear lots of makeup. Yeah, I do. She like never apologized. And like one time I read this article that Elle magazine or something was trying to do this natural beauty thing. Do you remember this? And they asked her to be part of it. And she's like, honey, there ain't nothing natural about this beauty. And she wouldn't do it.
Yes. Amazing.
Yeah. Amazing. There's like, and then, this question got me thinking. Like, there's people that we love that we like, there's something that they've done that, we haven't drank the Kool-Aid entirely. Like, even Madonna's done some shit that we don't like. We could go on to that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But there's always people we love that have done something wrong or something we just didn't like or whatever. Dolly, I really, other than I wasn't a huge fan of that album, that's basically it.
Oh, well, she's put out several like clunker albums that are just bullshit. Yeah. But it's like, we just, whatever. It's Dolly. She's so lovable. I'm telling you, like in the world of Me Too and Bill Cosby and people losing their entire careers over an offhanded racist statement or a blatant one, as in Roseanne's case, if Dolly, I think we're in the clear, but I swear to God, if Dolly did something, made a racist statement, or we found out something, it would wreck my world. I would jump off a cliff. Like, she is she is the beacon of hope for us. Like, if Dolly disappoints us, which I don't think she will, I would be totally heartbroken.
Yeah, it's like you'd be like your grandmother dying or something. Like
It would be worse than that.
it would be it would be worse than that. It would be pretty devastating.
Let me take. Yeah.
I mean, she has had some. You're right. She's had some clunker albums, but like I mean, I don't. It just seemed like that the clunker stuff didn't like register. Like it's like, who cares? Like I don't criticize her for that, but like Madonna, for instance, I mean, she's had hard candy bullshit albums that I would read for filth. For that, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah.
when it's bad, it's bad.
We hold her to a not a higher standard, but a different one. With Dolly, it's kind of like she puts out some bullshit, and we're like Blanche. Remember with the Golden Girls where they went to the high school reunion that wasn't theirs, and that guy was like, Blanche, how's our baby? Remember?
Oh,
And she goes, oh, who cares? Like. That's kind of how it is when Dolly puts out something we don't care. It's like, oh, who cares? There'll be something great down the pike. It's coming.
That's right. And
With Madonna, we're getting worried because she seems very. Just follow her on Instagram, okay?
And I hope that Dolly still puts out the dance album she's been promising us for like a long time. I'm ready for that, girl.
I know. Whatever happened to that?
No, I'm hoping she's still on it. I bet so, because she just put out the children's album. I mean, if she's going to do like those like concept albums, I mean, naturally dance would be next, right?
I mean, I think so. Children's album, dance album aimed at gays. I mean, it's
That's
just.
right. Maybe it'll be like Dolly's version of erotica. Just saying.
Oh,
So, you just like almost faint.
Can you? Yeah, I'm weak.
The other thing about Dolly that's amazing is that, and everybody knows the story, I think, but I'm saying anyways. Back when she did "I'll Always Love You" with Porter Wagner, Elvis wanted to record that song, but he wanted like the rights to the song, and she's like, "Fuck no," and so he
That's
didn't
right.
record it because she would not give up the song to Elvis, and look what it did for her.
That's right. Otherwise, Whitney may have never recorded it, and she wouldn't have got. First, she's fucking rich. She's rich as hell, smart,
Yes.
lovable, country, just corny, looks like a hooker. I mean, it's just everything we want.
Yes, she is incredible. Thanks for the question, Shannon. That was great. I loved it.
I did too.
Loved it. Okay, so I think we should get to the reunion because we both have a lot to say. And we have not, sometimes we talk a little bit before we record, but this time nothing. And I'm about to explode.
I know, me too.
Okay, so we know it's the reunion. Next week is the finale of RuPaul's Drag Race. So, overall, what did you think of this reunion?
This was, without a doubt, the most joyless, depressing, funless episode of Drag Race ever.
Yeah, it was pretty dark.
How about you?
It was pretty dark. Well, it was definitely dark. There was no fun. There was no fun to be had. Everybody came in there like they did not give a shit that RuPaul was in that room. Don't you think?
They all looked miserable. I don't think some of them, Cameron, cracked a smile the entire time. It was depressing.
And usually people come in and they're all like, you can tell they are so thankful to be there and whatever. But then there were some of these bitches were like, I mean, the way they were acting was like RuPaul wasn't even there. Like,
I know. And
like,
let's start with the obvious mistake that they open the episode with them all sitting down. So first of all, they've all put a lot of, well, not all of them, but several of them put a lot of thought into what they were going to wear to this because it's a big thing. For some of them, it's the only other chance we've gotten to see them. And we don't get to see anything that they're wearing because they're all sitting down, stacked behind each other on risers or whatever. And it's like, what the hell? I can't even. So it looks ridiculous. They all look like ass.
and I think we should do like a really quick tutor boot of those outfits.
Oh,
I mean,
sure.
they did it on the show. Let's just do it.
Yeah.
So, let's start with Aquaria. Would you give her like cow themed coat dress, a toot or a boot?
I'm tooting it.
I say toot as well, if nothing else because of her makeup. I mean, it's incredible. Her makeup is incredible.
It's not the most attractive look, but it is cohesive
bold.
again from head to toe,
Yeah.
and there was a thought behind it, so I get it. And somebody said, "Oh, I have this saved. We got to do this too." Okay, a lot of people said I saved some comments. There were some very funny well, let me not say funny. There were some interesting comments that caught my eye that I saved to read on this episode. But a lot of people are saying, well, a lot of skinny queens get away with looks because being thin equals fashion. And I have to say, that is kind of true. I'm not saying it's fair, but it's true. But I think oh Jesus. Aquaria does have a thought in her mind, and she does have an eye for fashion. She went to FIT or something, so I'm tuning it.
Yeah, me too. I don't know what it's made out of. That ain't leather. So I don't know what it is.
It's vegan leather, aka plastic.
Well, it's not yeah. But I look at it and nothing annoys. Okay, maybe the hat. Nothing else annoys me. I'm not big into hats like that to begin with. But other than that, I mean, her hair color choice was interesting. Like it was a little surprising. Like wasn't like, like some of these we're going to talk about. I had some sort of feels about it.
I need you to be more Project Runway, but it's very editorial. Like, what would Tim Gunn say?
You do a better Tim Gunn than I do.
It's very interesting, Aquaria. What would Harvey Weinstein think? How would he How would he access your genitals via this dress?
God. Well, it is a coat dress, right? Isn't it a coat dress?
Oh, hell if I know.
It's like buttons all the yeah. So that'd be easy access.
Her face wasn't very beautiful though. I like those freckles. I mean, just very cute.
Yes, you think Dusty Ray Bottoms was like this bitch?
Oh. Looked like she got a rash. Okay, go ahead.
We'll get to her. Let's do Asia, or I guess it's kind of alphabetical. So Asia O'Hara, I thought nothing she wore surprised me. It looks like anything ever in the history of drag someone could have worn.
Yeah, didn't she win one of those jewels for Queens, Fierce Drag Jewels? It just came out of a Ziploc bag, like a pre-made kit. But you know what? I'm kind of okay with it because I'm like, at least she's finally just admitting, look, I'm a pageant queen and this is what I do. Yeah,
that's true. She kind of has stayed on that sort of trajectory this whole entire season. Everything's been a fucking jeweled bodysuit.
Yeah, I think she was kind of like, I felt like the whole season she was kind of fighting that, though. And this time at the reunion, I felt like she was like, fuck it, I'm a pageant queen, which is fine. I'm doing it.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, moving on. So Blair St. Clair, Tudor boot.
Well, are we just talking about her face? Because I didn't see anything else.
Well...
her face was definitely a toot. Her hair and makeup were flawless.
Yes, I agree. And her dress was like a slip dress. I think she saved her like wow look for the finale because it looks sort of like a mini version of her finale dress.
Oh, they changed outfits?
Yeah, the finale is totally different.
Oh, well, color me surprised.
Yeah. All right, moving on. So Dusty Ray Bottoms, toot or boot?
A hot ass mess. You look like you have a rash on your face and raging herpes, and I cannot get beyond it. I don't even know what the rest of it was. Because
I get this like Bride of Frankenstein / Hellraiser sort of feel about it because she had all those chains and her hair was like that, and I don't know.
That's right, the chains. I do like that chain look. One of the Real Housewives did a dress like that for the reunion. I know you don't watch that, so forgive me, but anybody who watches Beverly Hills Housewives, Dorit wore a dress like that with the little chains all over, and it was very chic. But Dusty, I can't get past the rash on your face. I know you think it's your signature look and the dots and all that bullshit. It looks like a rash. It's not even attractive, and it's not good.
Well, I mean, I guess at least she looked different than everyone else. I'll give her that.
Okay.
Something positive. Okay, let's see. Who else would be interesting to talk about? I mean, Eureka looked great, but she looks like she always looks. Okay, Calorie Kardashian Williams. Toot or boot? That's not even worth talking about. That is a bullshit outfit.
Looked like a frozen birthday cake you buy at the grocery store.
I mean, somebody help that girl. Step in. Intervention.
And I don't like her personality either.
No, it's the worst. Okay, so I don't want to talk about Ms. Cracker because did she put any effort in that at all?
I don't know. I mean, her face looked flawless.
I agree, but that nude bodysuit though. I mean,
don't you know that you're toxic? It's been done.
Real. It's been done. I think Monet Exchange looked like the best she's ever looked.
Me too.
Yeah, she looked amazing. That
like
short little
going to church. I think she's embracing the black lady going to church look, which is very chic and in her wheelhouse.
Well, I thought Monique Hart, her popcorn thing. What did you think of that popcorn thing? Toot or
Oh,
boot?
it was so ugly, but it was funny, so at least it's something.
Yeah, boot. And she was eating popcorn out of her bag while stuff was going on, so that was
Which
great.
could have been great, except I don't think she realized she was going to a funeral.
Yeah.
There weren't that many funny moments.
No, there was not. And Miss Cracker yet again failed us.
Mm-hmm.
It was Pandora boxing the shit out of that thing. Mayhem Miller, I thought Mayhem looked gorge with that like ombre orangish hair and the gold and black.
I guess we're looking at different photos because all I remember is her head with the orange hair.
Yeah, but her outfit's like black with gold. I sent you some pictures
Oh,
from that
shit.
website that has a picture.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, the listeners don't know. They're just as lost as I am. I can tell you this: her eyes looked very yellow, like maybe she has some kind of
Jaundice?
jaundice or something. I'm not even playing. Like, I think she needs to get that checked out. Didn't her eyes look yellow to you?
Mayhem Miller, call 911.
Look, we're trying to help.
We're trying to help. That's what we're here for.
She has
Okay.
such a sweet personality too. Like anytime she chimed in, it was like, "Well, I just don't." It's almost like you don't expect that voice to come out of her.
Or like you forget she's there and suddenly you hear this voice and you're like, oh.
Touche. You got a lot of opinions for somebody who wasn't there that long.
Saying. So Vanessa Vanjie Mateo, she looked incredible, but her look, like this look is so great, but it doesn't match her personality.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of. She looked beautiful, but why are you hiding your face? Like you need to get as much face screen time as possible at this point.
For sure. And the fact that she looked so demure in this like goth bride thing, and then they asked her a question, and her voice is like, oh woo, like her voice is all like,
Well, at least I had a tagline, bitch. Who are you?
I know, and she's dressed like this like Black Widow bride.
Like Day of the Dead. Maybe she. Oh my God! Remember those Selena Gomez shirts we have? Day of the Dead shirts. We need to repurpose those and write Vanjie on them.
I think I used mine to dust with. Maybe.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
sure.
Oh, they're great for that.
Well, I give her outfit a toot.
Me too.
Vanjie's, for sure. She did look great though. The Vixen. I mean, did you know you were gonna leave early? Because you dressed like that was temporary.
Oh my God! It looked like shake and bake, Kraft macaroni and cheese, some rhinestones, just a hot mess.
Awful. And those plastic ass shoes. God, girl. I'm glad you left. Okay, the worst of all, I truly believe, saved for last, Yua Hamasaki.
Namamoto,
Sucky, whatever.
Shitsu. Oh Lord, gee, was that was an actual Halloween costume?
That was a mistake, is what that was. I think she was really trying to stand out, a la Detox and her like black and white fantasy she did years ago by doing the girl from The Ring. But I mean, girl, if you're gonna do anything like this, you gotta elevate that shit. Don't buy a wig from Party City. Do some real makeup work.
Take it to a fashion level. You can't.
Yeah.
It has to be inspired, not literate. Like you cannot do an actual Halloween costume. And I love how nobody even acknowledged it. It was just like, bitch, you look a fucking mess, and nobody said anything.
Nobody cared. I mean, her story, did she really have one? You're Asian, and in Asian culture, you can't say you're gay. The end.
And
That's
she's
the- I
like,
mean, that's not true,
in
but,
my
like-
family, I mean, leaving race out of it, it's not my place to say about the race. But
Yeah.
she's like, in our culture, in my family, like when something's uncomfortable, we just don't talk about it. And I'm like, isn't that all of us? Like,
Well,
that's
it kind of
every
is, but-
family.
It kind of is, but I understand what she's saying. Like, I'm not Asian. I can't say I understand what she's saying entirely, but I get what she's expressing, and
Yeah.
I don't think it's not important at all. But I'm just like, when it came to that moment from her, I was so irritated of how her costume was. I sort of did not care what she had to say.
Me too. It needed to be addressed, first of all, before we hear anything about your story. I will say, though, that her personality and her story is very, like, she's genuine. She's not some fake bitch. Like,
Oh,
she's
sure,
sweet.
sure.
She seems like a sweet person. It's just,
Yeah, I just, with this costume, how terrible it was, I didn't care. I didn't care what she had to say. Just hurry up and talk, get off the screen. Okay.
all right.
All right, so we gave her a big old fat boot. So that was fun. We got that out of our systems. Okay, so what I was thinking we could do, because there was so much in this episode, we can sort of go down the list of the queens and discuss how they were and what their story was and what you thought of it. So they started with Vanjie. Sure, her name was the breakout of this season, and it will be remembered that Vanjie came from this season. But I'm just not sure the importance of it.
Oh, I don't think it's that important. I think that she's aware of that, which makes me like her even more. She said herself, look, the minute that episode aired, I was like trying to get my bookings together. I was trying to print some t-shirts. I mean, she knows what time it is, and I like that self-awareness about her.
For sure, like just, get your moment. That's like whenever the free Winona t-shirts came out when she got arrested for stealing some stuff.
Oh yeah.
If you had a free Winona shirt and you're wearing it now, people would be like, what the fuck?
I know it's kind of changed. I had a free somebody shirt. Maybe it was Lindsay. But yeah, I like that about her because it takes a lot for a queen to be, down to earth and be like, look, I realize this is only going to last half a second. I need to make some money while I can.
For sure. So good for her. Yeah, she's obviously smarter than we think. So, get that coin, girl. Get that coin.
Yeah.
So she's that was all about her, really, wasn't it? I mean, they didn't have any other moments with her. Just
no, that's pretty because she wasn't around for anything else. She just sat there and looked. I did. Later in the episode though, when everybody was shading the fuck out of Cameron, saying, "Bitch, you don't talk to anybody. You don't like any of us. You don't say hi to us. We don't know you. None of us are your friends." And the camera kind of zoomed out, and they showed Vanjie looking at Monet, like, do you know this bitch? And Monet was like, not for real. I don't know her. That was amazing.
That was pretty funny. So we talked about Carly Crapdashian. Who cares about her? So there was a lot of like this rehashing kind of what happened during this season with religion and like Dusty Ray Bottoms, which is a terrible story, but we kind of heard it already, where her parents or whatever tried to exorcise the gay demon out of her and stuff, which is totally horrible and terrible. However, this stuff a little bit goes a long way. When you have one queen doing it, then you got another queen like in a row, just kind of like loses its effect.
It was like they were rounded up being shot military style. Like, I don't know what. It was so depressing. It was like, tell me what hurt. First of all, can we just 1 second? Let's talk about the change in Ru this reunion from previous ones. Why the I'm your spiritual guru, spiritual advisor, preachy bullshit has gone to a fevered pitch. Like it's out of control. He's gone from being a host of a reunion and a show to trying to like Iyanla fix my life, everybody, and it is so fucking annoying. I cannot stand him.
Well, we'll definitely get to that whole thing.
Okay, so tell me what hurts and who hurt you, and tell me more about how you were raped. It just feels very exploitative and gross to me. I don't like it. I don't feel like it comes from a genuine place at all. It's all for money and ratings. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I don't like it.
Yeah, and I think that the people who they talked about this with had way more, like Blair St. Clair had way more to talk about than that moment. She was on the season for a minute. So if that really all they're going to hit her, talk to her about was when she was raped. I'm like, what about all of her, like, people loved her, she's probably going to be Miss Congeniality, like, just anything other than just,
the fans
you
love
were
you.
raped, go.
Yeah, I have a single. I put a music video. It has Jinx in it, who also won the show. Everybody is reduced down to their most traumatic moment, and it's not really relevant.
No, and then Monique did hers, which okay. I mean, I don't know what to say to that. It's like, you go cry, the next you cry, the next you, I just can't. I can't.
I don't know.
It's not entertaining.
That's the thing. Like, this is supposed to be. That's why we said this is joyless, because look, we had the vulnerability checkpoints throughout the season, and that's why I think Ru took this opportunity to exploit people's campaign even further for some reason. For I don't know if he thought it was going to get ratings or he would have the chance to show off his, superiority, spiritual superiority or something to promote his next book, which is called Guru. I hate to even say it now, which is about how to be, an elevated human being. Some bullshit. It's just all bullshit.
It is. I think I said Monet, and I mean Monique. I always get their names wrong. Just their names. I can't keep apart. Just their names. Yeah, I think Rue does do that she sets this up so she can do that whole, yelling thing. So let's get to that. So the Vixen. All right, so her marching out of this episode to me was not controversial, and it was not surprising, and I was not gagged. I was just like, girl, bye. Like, it was like, why didn't you do this a long time ago? Why didn't you do this episode 1 of the season? Why didn't you just go?
I know. I wasn't mad that she left or anything. I really like the Vixen. I think part of me identifies with, like, the rage in her. Like, as somebody who's no stranger to an emotional outburst, I kind of get it. But I don't always agree with her, but I still kind of like her.
Well, I just think that, okay, if you step back and you put aside whatever the Vixen has gone through, this is a reality television show, and it's a competition. You cannot go in ready to fight. You can't go in with some preconceived whatever, because you're going to be reduced to whatever that is. And that's what happened to her. She came in, I'm going to fight. Well, guess what? That's who she became. She asked for it.
Yeah, I kind of get it. I see both sides of this, because when they flash back to Untucked, where Eureka said, "Are we done? Because I want to go smoke. I'm big as hell. I want to go smoke," or whatever. And Vixen just kind of made an offhanded comment where she was like, "Bitch, don't say all that. Like, just go smoke if you want to go smoke." And then Eureka elevated it to a fight. She went there with it. She took it to that level. And then the Vixen was just basically reacting. I mean, they both participated. And then it all came down to, I don't know. It's like, and then I guess what pissed me off the most was Rue at the reunion acted kind of like, Vixen, you don't have to act crazy just because people push your buttons. And I'm like, wait a minute. That's the whole point of the show. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. It's cage fighting. You're putting all these bitches with attitudes together, and then what, you don't want them to fight? Then you have no show. So she was doing her job by fighting with somebody. It wasn't that crazy. There seriously was not that much drama this season, so we're really milking it. Like, it wasn't even that serious, but since you're going to concentrate on this, I don't know.
Yeah, well, this Vixen thing is like, I don't know. I get that Eureka was partially, if not basically, at fault for that starting that thing with the Vixen. However, the Vixen could have taken the high road and been like, fuck off, bitch. Or just,
No, she definitely could have, but she's an angry person. She's got some issues.
Yes, she does. And I do agree as far as, like, Rue, like, yelling about, like, I know her, I know where she came from, and all this stuff. She did not need to march out of here. We are adults. I do agree with that. I think that it was weak as shit for the Vixen to leave. I'm like, girl, really? You just let them get to you. You gave them your screen time. You gave it up. Yeah.
She could have, but I guess she's just not there yet. I guess what irritated me, it's Rue more than anything. Can you tell I have an opinion on Rue? It's because he's like, I know where that bitch came from. I've been through it too. And I'm like, nobody is comparing you to a contestant on your show. Can you calm down? Like, you're such an egomaniac. Like, you have to make this about you. Like...
And I think partially Rue thought that Asia was right about some of the things that she was saying. And I think Rue does not like to be wrong or looked at as wrong. Now, look, I don't think everything that Asia said was right. Okay, let me just grab my information I jotted down about that. So, I think Asia is a hypocrite. I think that She acted all kinds of things about the vixen. But Miss Cracker, during the show, she basically told her she was a piece of shit to her face.
Yeah.
I'm like, so you're going to treat Miss Cracker this way? You're going to treat Mayhem the way that you did? But then you're supposed to be this, like, higher being that, is only there to help people. So the vixen you want to run and hug. But these other bitches you would say fuck off to. How does this make any sense? What you say means nothing, Asia. You think it does. Step back and look at your life. You cannot select people that you want to help, and then you can't do that and be superior to everyone.
I understand what you're saying. I think it's a layered issue, and I think that a lot of what pissed her off was Eureka was just as big of an asshole, although I think the vixen has a stronger voice. So it was kind of like everybody was telling the vixen how she should behave, and I think she said this, but Eureka was just kind of sitting there like, oh yeah, I should have been better about it, and that was it. And it was like, why are we going in on the vixen knowing that she's a firecracker and she's gonna react? So it felt kind of I don't know. But
did anybody call her the victim on the show, or did I just make that up now?
I think you just coined it. Let's talk about how when Adore tweeted, what'd she tweet? When you throw up the white flag, you're already the loser, or some bullshit. And somebody responded and said, "Didn't you quit All Stars episode 2?" Priceless.
Oh my god, Adora is the worst. So I think the vixen, what I wish for her, and wish if you could turn back time, she could go back and just take her message, take her outrage about other people, and I don't know, just think before you speak, and turn it into something that makes you look better, not something that makes you look like, get out of here, you're annoying as fuck, and I'm tired of listening to you scream at everybody. Fuck off. I wish she could have turned it around to where she could get more people on her side or something.
Me too. I understand how she could have made the error, though, in producing herself, because in seasons past, this kind of behavior could have been rewarded and could have gotten you all the way to the final.
Right, Roxy Andrews.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, you just have Tyra. You just have to do it the right way. Almost like do it during the interview things that they do, but don't go in untucked with your arms waving in the air and trying to insert yourself in other people's arguments and stuff, and like it's totally okay. Like her, so it's wrong for me to call out the truth? I'm like, this was none of your fucking business, bitch.
It wasn't, but it was kind of like you understood why she did that, because we're here to make a show. It's got to be entertaining. I think it's okay to bump up your emotions and your level of involvement as long as it's rooted in some kind of truth.
I mean, look at Bianca Del Rio. I mean, she kind of did that on her season, but there was not one moment that people were like, God, Bianca, you're a fucking shit stir. She did it, but it wasn't real obvious that she did it.
Well, that's the luxury of being a comedian, is because you can say a lot of shit and just play it off as kind of like we can as being gay. You can almost get away with saying anything.
I think there's some subtlety and some nuance you can use to do that kind of shit starter, and like it's like what they say, throwing meat into a shark tank and you just step on back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Instead of you're being like crazy. I just, there's so many other ways to do this. I wish she would have.
I have to say, though, the vixen in a lot of those flashbacks, I was like, God, she is so beautiful. She has that great jawline, and she is very pretty to me.
No, I agree. She's gorgeous. And, I just wish she were nicer. She's just not a nice person. And maybe she's angry. Maybe she has issues. And this is kind of siding with Rue a little bit. We all fucking have issues, but we still have to, make it through life. Could you imagine being at work, and you do something wrong, and you're like, fuck all this, and you leave? Well, you're fired.
Yeah, I've done that many times, actually.
You have?
Absolutely. Not recently, but absolutely. But I kind of respect her for refusing to sit there and be head shrunk by Rue, the self-proclaimed spiritual guru.
Yes, I agree. So I'm kind of like, I don't know. But I'm flippity-flop.
I see both sides. Yeah,
I do too. It's hard, because I don't want Rue to be right. I don't. because that is real fucking annoying. Okay, so the next thing we have to talk about for sure is this Cameron stuff. Okay, so before I give my opinion, so what did you think of all of that with everybody coming for Cameron saying she isn't nice and she wasn't friendly with them and she didn't talk to people? Like, what do you think of that whole thing?
Well, I've already said I don't like Cameron's personality, but that did not change my opinion of her at all, because I've been accused of the same thing. I don't care. It didn't. So what? So she's not very overly friendly and wants to be best friends with all of you. So what? Some people are introverts. It's fine.
And see, the thing is I am exact same way. I am Cameron. I just am. I would probably do the same thing. I would be way overwhelmed by all these loudmouth fucking drag queens. Like, okay, in a room with Monique Hart, stay the fuck away from me, bitch. Like, her personality is too much. Could you imagine her and, say, the Vixen and all these people in the same room? I would be like, I'll just be over here by myself.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna, no, ma'am. And I wouldn't even say it. And people would be like, what the fuck's wrong with him? I've gotten it. So this last New Year's, I think I might have told you the story. So I went to this party, and I didn't know anybody at the party. Oh, I went with a couple friends, so I knew them, but I didn't know the person who was having it really, and it was a new place, whatever. And I was wearing this, like, I'm just painting the picture because I didn't realize. Huh?
Sequence dress?
It was sequence, pasties, and a cheek. No, I'm just painting a picture. So I was wearing a black turtleneck, which I do like a turtleneck.
Mm-hmm.
And I think jeans maybe or something. And I was sitting there on the couch at this party, full of, I know there was gay guys and whatever, all pretty busy party. And they didn't have Channel 5 where Mariah Carey was going to come on. All they had was CNN with, Anderson Cooper and Andy Cohen. And I can't stand them.
Me either.
Get it? I can't stand them.
Yes, I do.
Okay, yeah, so I can't. And I was like pouting because, first of all, starting off, because they didn't have Mariah.
Who chooses Anderson Cooper and Andy Cohen over Mariah?
But they didn't have the channel. Like, for some reason.
How do you not get a local channel? They're free.
I don't know. So I'm just sitting there. I don't think I was I might have looked at my phone a little bit, but I suddenly felt like everyone was looking at me. And then I looked kind of around, and they were. They were. And someone was like, so, how are you? And someone else, like I knew, or my friend was like, you look bored. I'm like, I do? And then I realized everyone was staring at me because I was just there by myself, being quiet, just not wanting to talk to any of these bitches. And I know I was being side-eyed and dagger-eyed for just not participating in that shit. I'm like, I do not care about any of these people. I'm fine over here by myself. I'll just look at Mariah shit online that's, blah, blah, blah. I'm Cameron. I could walk into a room full of people like that and go sit by myself.
Absolutely. How many times in school or at work have you been in one of those, God forbid, one of those getting to know you icebreaker games or something? I completely shut down, and I'm not a shy person. In that scenario, I shut all the way down. I don't want any part of this shit.
Yeah, so I have to say, after witnessing this, I'm kind of hashtag Team Cameron now. Like, I've been a Aquaria this whole entire time, and I still am. But my Cameron stock went up for me a whole lot because I'm just like, leave this bitch alone. I hope she fucking wins. I hope she sends all y'all home in this fucking 4-way lip sync that's supposed to happen. Get them, Cameron. They're assholes. Like, I'm like, leave her alone. God damn it.
I know, because she's like, you know what? Somebody here is funnier than me. People are quicker witted than me. Somebody has better fashions than me, better makeup. So I'm just going to sit here and be fabulous on my own and keep my mouth shut unless somebody asks me a question directly. And that's totally fine with me. It's better than forcing it and being fake and obnoxious.
Or saying something and then having fucking the Vixen coming for you. It's like...
Oh, God, that would have been great, though. Can you imagine?
Cameron saying something, trying to be sassy, and then had the Vixen waving her hands in your face. And I'd be like, oh, fuck. I should have just sat over there by myself, kept to myself. I would be like, ugh.
I'm like,
no.
is this Jerry Springer or Oprah's Super Soul Sunday? Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, Frustrating. I was very frustrated during this finale.
Tell me how you feel about Cameron's upper lip.
That it's bigger?
She fucked it all the way up. I mean, she blew that fucker up.
Yeah. I think Cameron's face is pretty flawless. I didn't mind.
No, it is pretty. She's pretty, but that lip was boom. Tyra Sanchez countdown to Cameron's lip. Boom.
Well, I don't know. It didn't bother. I didn't really like what she was wearing for this. You know, I don't like what she's wearing a lot. I hate that thing on her head. If she got rid of that thing on her head, different wig, I didn't mind that outfit. I don't dislike Cameron. I hope if she doesn't win, she's top 2 because I feel like she's went in and did her own thing. She really didn't care what anybody thought about her. I mean, as much as, if not more than Asia. You know? She's like, I'm being me. Oh, yeah. Well, if it's not the best. You know, it's like...
We've seen previously on previous seasons that not showing any emotion does not automatically disqualify you from winning because Violet Chachki had no emotion, no vulnerability, and she still won.
Yeah, she was never on the bottom.
So
she never lip synced
you
for
could
her
still
life.
win. I mean, as long as it's not Eureka, I think I'm okay.
Really? What would you do if Eureka won?
Nothing. I'd be recapping this next season, being pissed off and bitter.
I do not think Eureka is going to win. I think she was too much of a bitch. I don't think so. And I think Asia should not win because I think she, with this, if for no other reason, because she was on this reunion crying about the Vixen, when we all know that she was a total bitch to Cracker, and we find out she was a bitch to Mayhem, fuck off. She should not win because she was such a total bitch. Something else that was glaring to me about this reunion is Aquaria got no story.
No, nothing. The bitch barely spoke for the first 45 minutes.
She was the only one who didn't have some moment, which makes me think, that's interesting.
Aquaria, now tell us, who hurt you and what are you insecure about? Nothing.
Nothing. I know, maybe that's why. Maybe they did and they didn't put it in because she was just like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm cool.
Aquaria, were you ever raped? No.
No.
Aquaria, has anybody ever hated you for being white? Not really.
Have you ever been left at the bus stop by your parents? No.
Not that I remember.
So they're probably like, next. Either that or, I mean, Rue already know who's going to win. I mean, if they look at social media, I told you this. We might have talked about it before. I go online and I look and see how many followers each of them have, and I sort of keep an eye on it just because I want to hold Rue accountable when she's like, "You, the fans, I want to hear from you." And I look and I see Aquaria has like twice as many Instagram followers as say Asia, and then I see Asia win or something. I'd be like, "False, Rue. You do not do that." You know, I'm like, I'm ready for it.
He needs to drop that. It's so hokey and fake and transparent. Like, we know you don't give a shit. Like, come on. Can I take this? Are we done? Can I take a moment to read some comments?
Yeah, do it. Let's do it. I'm ready.
These are some comments that I'm not saying we agree with, but they caught my eye. Okay, first one is from Colossus. And he says, I'm starting to think this show has reached its natural endpoint. So much on screen and off is so nasty and vitriolic. This isn't what I personally want to be entertained by anymore. Rue, who is a legend no doubt, isn't helping because she's incredibly smart but super ignorant at the same time. Comment number 2. I just went to look at RuPaul's Twitter and I'm blocked. I searched my account for mentioning him and I literally never have mentioned him before. What the fuck? Comment number 3. The reunion was a mess. There were more sad and depressing moments than fun ones. This show is quickly turning into RuPaul's traumatic drag race. Rue needs to quit acting like some kind of Dr. Phil. And the last one. RuPaul can't remember half the queens' names after their season and barely, if ever, interacts with them after filming wraps. It's disappointing that he wants to take on this Mama Ru persona for the cameras, but really could not care less about them outside of the show.
Oh, yeah. All those are...
Draw your own conclusions.
Yeah, are good points. I always wondered that, too, about the whole Mama Ru crap. And, I mean, I think Rue is doing this whole, like, guru thing. It's just her shtick now. I mean, you know, her podcast is one of the sponsors is that call a psycho. What is it called?
Talkspace.
Talkspace, whatever that is. That's one of their sponsors, and they talk about that. That's where you can pay like X amount of money a month, and you have access to a therapist 24 hours
Licensed,
a day.
important to emphasize, a licensed therapist, allegedly, I don't really know, but
Yeah.
somebody that's been to school for this shit, not somebody that's hosting a drag competition.
But just that whole, that is Rue's thing, and she thinks she's so
It's
fucking knows everything.
really
It's
obnoxious.
It's really obnoxious. And so, one thing they did that reopen the library thing, and then Dusty Ray Bottoms told Michelle Visage never loved ya. So, and then I read some article. I'm just comparing a couple. I'm painting a picture. So I also read an article online about Michelle Visage being the unsung hero or something. I'm like,
What?
Michelle is just as
Unsung.
bad as Rue. Yeah, with this whole reading Queens for Filth and be like, I'm just trying to help. You're mad at me, But girl, please, that is you telling yourself that.
Well, she can't be impartial because she's on the payroll.
She's on the payroll. Rue's her best friend, of course. She's going to side with Rue, regardless. And I just think that no one should put Michelle in a different category as Rue. Never.
No, absolutely not. In fact, I think that Michelle should have been there for the reunion, sitting right there with Rue. Why not?
Yep.
It would have rounded it out a little bit. It came off very like Rue is like God, and everybody is, trying to explain why they did what they did. It's just, I don't know, it skeeved me out.
It was, like I said earlier, it was very surprising that I really felt like people were pretending that Rue wasn't even there. I mean, the things they were saying and the way they were acting and stuff, I'm like, y'all, I don't know. I thought it was kind of rude. I'm like, this is Rue's show. Why are you laying on the floor? Why are you stomping across the room? Why are you marching out the room? Why, I'm like, this is Rue's show still, because you aren't in on the runway. You think I don't know.
Well, it was none of the final four, really. I can tell you, if I was there and he was acting like that, being all preachy and shit, I would have acted a fool too. Because although there was one moment when Asia was crying over the whole Vixen thing, and Rue said something like, "What are we supposed to tell her how to act?" And Asia kind of shot Rue a look, like, "Bitch."
Yeah.
And Rue kind of backtracked a little bit, and I did love that.
Yeah. So Rue was not right, and I don't think Asia was right either. So I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to take some advice or some thoughts from someone who has, oh, we have to comfort her. It's Pride Month and blah, blah. But you can be shitty to Cracker. You can be shitty to Mayhem. You can be a shitty bitch. But when it comes to Vixen, be nice to her. What the fuck?
I guess the difference is that none of those people reacted in such a way.
I guess.
I don't know. Tell us what you think. I'm interested.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that I'm not really interested. I'm like Rue. I'm just pretending to be interested to get feedback and comments, but I'm not really interested.
No, I am. I want to hear what people think, because I mean, just because someone's crying doesn't mean what they're saying is correct.
That's very true. Feelings aren't facts.
No, facts are facts. Feelings are not facts. So watching Asia cry means nothing. It really means nothing.
Well, thank you for summing that up for it.
Yeah,
Tell me more about how I feel. The meantime, the whole time Aquaria is just sitting there like, oh, God.
I know, God, hurry up.
Can I get my crown already?
I mean, obviously, I've already had my head. I give you the, fitted. I've had it measured, so I can give it that.
I would not be surprised that next week that Rue says, surprise, no one wins. Because that's how it feels.
Yeah, we definitely don't win as the audience. I mean,
because what's the incentive for people who want to maybe try out for Drag Race next season or 2 seasons from now? Well, oh shit, I want to try out for Drag Race, but nothing traumatic has happened to me. I haven't been involved in a school shooting. I haven't been raped. I haven't been.
I know.
You know,
you have to make something happen. Go out,
walk into traffic,
walk into traffic. What?
Start smoking immediately and hope for cancer. What do you have to do? You have to bleed? Shit. Can't you just be fierce?
I don't know. It's sad, but oh well. Next week is the finale, so one more week and we never have to listen to bitches again. We don't want to.
Amen. Can I get an amen?
Amen. Well, we'll be back next week to talk about, and we'll go over the fashions for next week too, even though you can look at them online. They're definitely better than this fucking reunion looks.
Oh, thank
I don't know
God.
what people are thinking. Well, we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
Miss Vanjie. Miss Vanjie. Miss Vanjie.
Thanks for listening to Drag Dungeon. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Follow our show on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Periscope at Drag Dungeon. See you next time.